coming out tonight, and welcome to our 2024 show. We started telling some of our best jokes and stories way back in 2017, 7 years ago. We've been through a lot since then. I'd now like to present to you Leslie Kirschman, our narrator, as she shares some good reasons to just have a good laugh once in a while.
If you want, please laugh anytime you feel like it.
Absolutely.
All right. As you travel on the road of life, I'm sure that many of you have found that humor can often be a good shock absorber as you hit those unexpected bumps in the road. Mark Twain commented on the power of laughter in Tom Sawyer. The old man laughed. He laughed loud and joyously and shook the details of his anatomy from head to toe and ended up by saying, "Such a laugh was like money in your pocket because it cut down on the doctor bills." Let's remember Victor Borge. He said that laughter is the shortest distance between two people. And now for the show. Relax. We hope you have a few good laughs, and we are presenting Off Our Rockers. Now, let us begin at one very upscale restaurant. The title of this story is "You Caught My Eye." A man is dining in a fancy restaurant, and there is a gorgeous redhead sitting at the next table. He's been checking her out since he sat down, but he lacks the nerve to talk with her. Suddenly, she sneezes, and her glass eye comes flying towards the man. He reflexively reaches out, grabs it out of the air, and hands it back.
Oh my, I am so sorry. Let me buy your dinner to make it up to you.
They enjoy dinner together, and afterwards they go to the theater, followed by drinks. They talk, they laugh. She shares her deepest thoughts and dreams. He shares his. After paying for everything, she asks him if he would like to come to her place for a nightcap and stay for breakfast. They had a wonderful time. The next morning, she cooks a gourmet meal with all of the trimmings. The guy is amazed.
Everything is so incredible. You know, you are the perfect woman. Are you always this nice to every guy you meet?
Oh, no. You just happen to catch my eye.
What you didn't see is the first time we practiced it, she dropped her eye, and bounced up to the ceiling. I tried to...
Act 2. Forrest Gump dies and goes to heaven.
Run, Forrest!
The day finally arrived, and Forrest Gump is at the pearly gates. However, the gates are closed, and Forrest approaches the gatekeeper.
Well, Forrest, it is certainly good to see you. We have heard a lot about you. I must tell you, though, that the place is filling up fast. And we have been administering an entrance exam for everyone. The test is short, but you have to pass it before you get into heaven.
Well, it sure is good to be here, ma'am, but nobody ever told me about any entrance exam. I sure hope it ain't too hard. Life is big enough test as it was.
Yes, I know, Forrest, but the test is only 3 questions. First, what 2 days of the week start with the letter T? Second, how many seconds are there in a year? Third, what is God's first name?
Forrest leaves to think the questions over. He returns the next day and sees the gatekeeper who waves him over.
Now that you have had a chance to think the questions over, tell me your answers.
Well, the first one, which 2 days begin with the letter T? Shucks, that would be today and tomorrow.
Forrest, that is not what I was thinking. But you do have a point, and I guess I did not specify, so I will give you credit for that answer. How about the second one? How many seconds in a year?
Now that one is hard, but I thunk and thunk about that, and I guess the only answer can be 12.
12? 12? Forrest, how in heaven's name could you come up with 12 seconds in a year?
Shucks, there's got to be 12. January 2nd, February 2nd, March 2nd.
Hold it. I see where you are going with this, and I see your point, though that was not quite what I had in mind. But I have to give you credit for that one, too. Let's go on to the third and final question. Can you tell me God's first name?
Sure, it's Andy.
Andy? Okay, I can understand how you came up with the answers to my earlier questions. But just how in the world did you come up with the name Andy for the first name of God?
Well, shucks, that one was the easiest one of all. I learned it from the song. And he walks with me, and he talks with me.
Did you ever feel too sick to go to work? Do you remember how your boss felt? Let's see what happens here. Act 3, call in sick. Chuck isn't feeling well, so he calls into work because he's not doing well and he says he's sick.
Hey, boss, I can't come to work today. I am really sick. I have a stomach ache, my head aches, and my legs hurt. I can't come to work.
You know, Chuck, I really need you today. When I feel like you do, I go to my wife and tell her to give me sex. That makes everything better, and I go to work. You try that.
2 hours later, Chuck calls again.
Hey, boss,
Yeah?
I did exactly what you said, and I feel great. I will be to work soon. And by the way, you have a nice house. Your wife's not bad either.
Act 4, an 80-year-old golfer. Loretta Cavoli, an 80-year-old Italian, goes to the doctor for a checkup. The doctor is amazed at what good shape the guy is in and asks,
How do you stay in such great physical condition?
Well, I'm Italian, and I'm a golfer, and that's why I'm in such great shape. I'm up well before daylight, golfing up and down the fairways, have a glass of vino, and all's well.
Well, I'm sure that helps, but there's got to be more to it. How old was your father when he died?
Hold on a second. No, okay, hold on. You kind of threw me over there with whatever your sound effect. What was that, you? Okay, all right. Who said he was dead?
You mean you're 80 years old and your father is still alive? How old is he?
He's 100 years old. In fact, he golfed with me this morning. We went down to Bikini Beach, had a walk, then we had a little vino, and that's why he's still alive. He's Italian and he's a golfer too.
Well, that's great. But I'm sure there's more to it than that. How about your father's father? How old was he when he died?
Who said my no-no's dead?
You mean you're 80 years old and your grandfather is still living? That's incredible. How old is he?
He's 118 years old.
the doctor is not only amazed, but he's also getting frustrated.
So, I guess he went golfing with you this morning too.
No, couldn't go golfing this morning because he's getting married today.
At this point, the doctor is close to losing it.
Getting married? Why would a 118-year-old guy want to get married?
Who said he wanted to?
Act 5, Satan. It was a bright and beautiful Sunday, a beautiful Sunday morning. Everyone in the tiny town got up early and went to the local church. Before the services started, the townspeople were sitting in their pews when suddenly Satan appeared at the front of the church. Everyone started screaming and running for the entrance, trampling each other in frantic effort to get away from the evil creature. All except for one elderly woman who sat calmly in her pew, not moving and seemingly oblivious to the fact that God's ultimate enemy was in her presence.
Do you know who I am?
Sure do.
Aren't you afraid of me?
Sure ain't.
Why aren't you afraid of me?
I've been married to your brother for 55 years. Act 6, O'Connell's Irish Pub. The rain was pouring down outside O'Connell's Irish Pub. There, standing in front of a big puddle outside of the pub, was an old Irishman, drenched, holding a stick with a piece of string dangling in the water.
Pardon me, sir. What are you doing?
Fishing?
Oh, sir, please come out of the rain. Come in the pub and have a drink with me.
In the warm ambience of the pub, as they were sipping their whiskeys, the passerby, who was a wee bit of a jerk, could not resist asking,
So just how many fish have you caught today?
It's been a good day. You'd be the 8th.
outing, so let's set off on Act 7, a little road trip. A couple has had lunch in a roadside restaurant, and they're back on the road.
Oh my, I can't find my glasses. I must have left them on the table back at the restaurant.
We've been on the road 20 minutes, and it took you this long before you noticed your glasses are gone?
Just turn around at the next exit. It won't take long to go back and get them.
The next exit is 25 miles down the road. Why didn't you check when we left the restaurant? Why did it take you so long to find them?
They drive along to the next exit, turn back, and they arrive at the restaurant. The husband had been grumbling and complaining the whole way. He had become more agitated and just wouldn't let up before they got to the parking lot. Now, his wife, with great relief, runs into the restaurant. The husband leans out of the car and yells,
Hey, hon, while you're in there, you might as well get my hat and credit card.
Act 8. Two women are sitting next to each other at a bar. After a while, one looks at the other and says,
I can't help but think from listening to you talk that you're from Ireland.
I am.
Ooh, so am I. And whereabouts in Ireland are you from?
I'm from Dublin, I am.
So am I. And what part of Dublin did you live in?
A lovely little area they call the West End.
Oh, Saints preserve us. But I lived at the West End also. What street did you live on?
Faith. It was Warberry Street, it was.
Oh, Faith, and it's a small world, isn't it? I lived on Mulberry Street too. And what school did you go to?
I went to Holy Heart of Mary School, and you?
Oh, as did I. This is hard to believe. What year did you graduate? And did the sisters let you?
Yes, they did. I certainly did. I graduated in 1964.
Oh, the good Lord must be smiling down on us. I can hardly believe our good luck in winding up at the same pub tonight. Can you believe it? I graduated from Holy Heart of Mary in 1964 myself.
About this time, Michael walks into the bar, Michelle walks into the bar, sits down and orders a beer. The bartender walks over, shaking her head and muttering, "It's gonna be a long night tonight.
Why do you say that, Brianna?
The Murphy twins are drunk again." Act 9. The peanuts are delicious. An old lady offers the bus driver some peanuts, so the driver happily munches them. Every 5 minutes, she gives him another handful to eat.
Why don't you eat them yourself?
I can't chew. I don't have any teeth.
Then why do you buy them?
Oh, I just love to suck the chocolate off of them.
imagine this situation? Our 10th act is, pull over, please. The light turned yellow just in front of him. He did the right thing and stopped at the crosswalk.
I saw the whole thing. I saw a woman tailgating close behind the driver of the first car. She got really furious and honked her horn. And screamed in frustration. Because she missed her chance to get through the intersection. There was a police officer. And the officer calmly got out of the car and tapped on the lady's window.
Please get out of your car, ma'am.
Once out of the car, the officer took the lady to the police station. She was fingerprinted, photographed, and placed in a holding cell. Now, after a couple of hours, a policeman approached the cell and opened the door. The woman was escorted back to the booking desk, where the arresting officer was waiting with her personal effects.
I don't understand. Why was I arrested? Sweet old me.
I'm very sorry for this mistake. You see, I pulled up behind your car while you were blowing your horn, giving the guy in front of you the finger, and cursing at him. Then I noticed, what would Jesus do bumper sticker, the Choose Life license plate holder, and Follow Me to Sunday School license plate holder. So, after reading all the fine Christian thoughts on your car and then seeing your behavior, I assumed that you had stolen the car.
Act 11, Mother Superior. The wise old Mother Superior from County Tipperary was dying. The nuns gathered around her bed, trying to make her comfortable.
She seems so parched. Why don't we give her some milk to drink? It might comfort her.
So, Sister Agatha ran back off to the kitchen to get a glass of warm milk. After hurrying back, they tried to get Mother Superior to drink, but she refused.
She doesn't seem to want this. Maybe it's too cold. Why don't you warm it up some more?
So, Sister Agatha ran back to the kitchen, put the milk on the stove to warm it up. As it was warming, she remembered a bottle of Irish whiskey that they had received as a gift the previous Christmas. She reached for the bottle, poured a generous amount into the warm milk.
Try this, sister. I added a little something. You may enjoy it more.
She held it, the glass, to Mother Superior's lips. Mother Superior drank a little, smacked her lips, and drank a little more. The nun smiled with encouragement. Before they knew it, she had drunk the whole glass.
I'm so glad you were able to drink all the milk. You look so much better.
Mother, Mother, please give us some last wisdom before you die.
I'm telling you one thing, don't sell that cow!
Act 12, The Irish Prostitute.
There's a theme here, you realize that?
An Irish daughter had not been home for over 5 years. Upon her return, her father read her the Riot Act.
Where you been all this time? Why you not giving us, even dropped us a line? Why did you not call? Can you not understand what you put your old mother through?
Dad, I became a prostitute.
You what? I don't hear you, shameless harlot. You're a disgrace to our Catholic family.
Okay, Dad, as he wished. I just came back to give Mom this luxurious fur coat, this deed to a 10-bedroom mansion, and a $5 million savings certificate. From my little brother, a Rolex watch, and PE Daddy, a brand new Mercedes convertible packed in the driveway, and an invitation for ye all to join me on New Year's Eve on my yard.
Now then, what did you say you'd become?
A prostitute, Daddy.
Saints preserve us! You scared me half to death. For a moment there, I thought you said you were a Protestant. Come here, give me your old dad a hug.
Now we have a special treat. We're inviting you to sit back and enjoy some humorous moments with a very famous comedian, Jacob Rodney Cohen, also known as Rodney Dangerfield. Let's see if he can get some respect from this very audience.
Thank you very much. Hope you're enjoying Off Our Rockers. What a nice group. But I get no respect in that group either. I get no respect anywhere. From the day I was a kid till now, I get no respect. Before, during, and after marriage, no respect at all. Well, when I was young, a young baby, I was born from the womb. The doc took a look at me, cut my umbilical cord, and used it to hang himself. Are you kidding? My mother had morning sickness after I was born. I could tell my parents hated me. My bath toys were a toaster and a radio. One time I got lost from my parents. I found a cop. I asked him, "Sir, do you think we'll ever find him?" He said, "I don't know, kid. There's so many places they could hide." Well, my dad sent me to the hardware store one day to buy some rat poison. The clerk said, "You want me to wrap it up or you're going to eat it here?" My dad liked to play tag, too. He'd drive. When I grew up, I got married. Oh, she was awful rotten. Nothing in bed. No cook. Oh, she was mean. Talk about bed. She bought me a waterbed once. Her side of the bed was frozen. One day she called me up. She says, "Honey, I'm feeling romantic. Take me to the drive-in." I took her to the drive-in. I spent the whole night trying to find out which car she was in. When I was feeling romantic, I called her up and I said, "Honey, I'm thinking about the sex we had the other night." She said, "Who is this?" One night we're lying there trying to make love. Nothing was happening. Nothing at all. Nothing. I said, "What's the matter? You can't think of anybody else either?" Last straw, she showed up at the front door in a sexy negligee. She was coming home. Oh, she mean. Oh, she mean. At the altar, she said, "I do, but not with him." She saw me after a bridge club the other night. I jumped off on Tuesday. I fell asleep the other night with a cigar in my lap. She lit it. I I got my car stolen from the driveway the other night. I said, did you see who did it? She said, no, but I got the license plate. Well, she told me to take out the garbage. I said, you cooked it, you take it out. So I got divorced. I got into this online dating stuff. Oh, that date last night, last time I saw a mouth like that, it had a hook in it. One night I went out with this very sexy debonair woman. She told me her name was Valerie Dubois, but I could call her VD for short. I'm lying there in ferocious love one night with a date from the online company. She starts crying. I said, what's the matter? You gonna hate yourself in the morning? She said, no, I hate myself now. And the last straw, one woman called me up. She said, come on over, there's no one home. I went over, there was nobody home. Thank you very much.
Now, is there anyone here who has recently had a birthday or is having one soon? Well, this is for you, whoever you may be, at 14, the birthday drink. Let's journey together to the SS Catfish for a cruise on a sailing ship. And we're going to go through the Caribbean. An elderly lady wanders into the bar and sits at one of the stools. The bartender approaches.
Good evening, ma'am. What's your pleasure this evening?
I'm on this cruise to celebrate my 80th birthday. And today is my birthday.
Oh my gosh, well since it's your birthday, this one's on me. What can I get you?
I'd like a scotch with 2 drops of water.
Scotch with 2 drops of water coming up.
The woman sitting next to her thinks this is quite fun and decides to join in.
I so admire your longevity. May I buy you a drink also?
That is so sweet. Of course. Okay, then bartender, I'd like a scotch with 2 drops of water.
Coming up.
Now, it's the time for the woman on the other side to take notice, and she wants to join in too.
When you walked in, you reminded me of my mother. She also had a fondness for a nice drink every now and then. May I also buy you a drink?
I do believe I can handle another. Bartender, make that a double scotch with 2 drops of water.
Coming right up. But you know, I'm dying of curiosity. Why the scotch with only 2 drops of water?
Dearie, when you're my age, you've learned to hold your liquor. Water, however, is a whole different story.
At 15, don't ask Grandma a question unless you know the answer. In a trial, a small town southern attorney called his first witness a grandmother, elderly and lovely, and he wanted her to come to the stand.
Mrs. Jones, do you know me?
Why, yes, I do know you, Mr. Williams. I've known you since you were a boy, and frankly, you have been a big disappointment to me. You cheat on your wife, and you manipulate people and talk about them behind their backs. You think you're a big shot when you have the brains to realize you'll never amount to anything more than a 2-bit paper pusher. Yes, I do know you.
The lawyer was stunned, not knowing what else to do. He pointed across the room and asked,
Mrs. Jones, do you know the defense attorney?
Why, yes, I do. I've known Mr. Bradley since he was a youngster. He's lazy, bigoted, and he has a drinking problem. He can't build a normal relationship with anyone. In his law practice is one of the worst in the entire state. Not to mention, he has cheated on his wife 3 different times with 3 different women. And one of them was your wife. I do know him.
The defense attorney was totally shocked. The judge asked both counselors to
Counselors.
approach the bench and spoke to them.
If either of you ask if she knows me, I will personally send you to the electric chair.
Act 16, a bar story. Hold on, guys.
Costume change.
Costume change, right. Takes a little doing. Okay.
Give him the eye.
Don't worry. A pirate walks into a bar.
Hey, I haven't seen you for a while. What happened? You look terrible.
What do you mean? I feel fine.
What about the wooden leg? You didn't have that before.
Well, we were in a battle, and I got hit with a cannonball. I'm fine now.
Well, okay, but what about that hook? What happened to your hand?
Well, we were in another battle. I boarded a ship and got into a sword fight. My hand was cut off. I got fitted with a hook. I'm fine, really.
And what about the eye patch?
One day we were at sea and a flock of birds flew over and one of them pooped in my eye.
You're kidding. You lost an eye over bird poop?
Well, to tell the truth, it was my first day with the hook.
Act 17, a golfer's surgery. A golfer was involved in a terrible car crash and was rushed to the hospital. Just before he was put under, the surgeon popped in to see him.
I have some good news and some bad news. The bad news is that I have to remove your right arm.
Goodness, no. My golfing days are over. Please, Doc. What's the good news?
Well, I have another arm to replace it, but it's a woman's arm. And I will need your permission before I go ahead with the transplant.
Go for it, Doc, as long as I can play golf again.
The operation went well, and a year later, the man was out on the golf course when he bumped into the surgeon.
Hi, how's the arm?
Just great. I'm playing the best golf of my life. My new arm has a much finer touch, and my putting is greatly improved.
That's great.
Not only that, my handwriting is improved. I've learned to iron my own clothes. I've even taken up painting landscape in watercolors.
Unbelievable. I am so glad to hear the transplant was such a success. Are you having any side effects?
Well, just two. I now have trouble parallel parking. And when I'm ready to have sex, I always have a headache.
All right, folks, we have something we feel is really special that we want to do. Peggy, did you want to add to that?
No. Well, I'll say, yeah. Just in view of all that's going on in our world today, we would like to invite you to join us in singing God Bless America. God bless America. God bless America. Ready? God bless America. Land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her. We're united with light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. I'd like to introduce you to the members of our cast. Anna Hartwick, Leslie Kirschman, our narrator, and Pearl Litterer,